Hi, Marla. Okay, so let's get to it because we can get through some stuff even before Rini comes on, if she can get here. And I know that, Diana, you have to leave, right? Pretty shortly?
Yeah, around 7.
Okay.
Unless I can do 2 Zooms at once, is that possible?
You're asking the wrong person. Okay, so let's start right now. Marla, I acknowledge you as a guest. Is there any other guests here tonight? No.
Am I still a guest? Am I still
No,
a
you're
guest?
not. You're a member now.
Oh, cool. All right. Thank you.
You're a voting member, Charlie.
All right.
Marla, do you have any specific comments at this time?
I do not.
Okay,
Other than, well, really quickly, we're going to be starting fairly soon with a logging up on Pomeroy Mountain Durrell's path. And that abuts other property that you're looking at.
Okay, and I have a report on that in a few minutes. So, okay, good to know. I should say this meeting was called to order at, let's say, 6:15, okay, for the minutes.
Yep.
And then, did everyone have a chance to look at last time's meetings? Minutes of last meeting, and does anybody have any comments, or is there a motion to accept?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes
A second?
from June 25th, sorry.
From June 25th, correct? Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion?
I just want to say, this is Janet, I just want to say that it says, Janet says the select board does not approve the appointees to the CPC. April suggests the select board simply confirm the appointment. My only experience and knowledge is with community preservation, and I know when we have members come to our meeting, they are appointed or assigned by their various committees and commissions. And the select board does not, in my knowledge, maybe we can talk to Virginia, really get involved. The different committees and commissions just send whatever representative they feel has the time and is appropriate. So I just want to make sure that everybody...
Do you want to, is there a way to change the wording, Janet, so that it meets what you believe you said?
Select board does not approve the appointees to the CBC, which is appropriate. Do you want me to confirm with Virginia that that's true? But it just seems like we really don't get involved when people come to our committee of community preservation. They're just assigned, and I think that would be the same thing with this committee. Whatever.
I don't think you need to do that. I think we understand that that is the case.
Okay.
And so the next thing I was going to talk about was becoming a regular town meeting and where it stands. And I did reference the fact that my understanding was that CPC was appointed by the specific boards that were sending representation, and they seem to agree with that. So I don't see a problem with that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. So Rini is, I got to welcome Rini here. Wait a second. She just said, great. Okay. Rini, are you in?
She's muted. Oh, yeah, no, she's not. Okay.
Okay. Hi, Rini.
Hi, how you doing? Glad to hear you.
Well, pretty good. Sorry for the hassle, but anyway, we're back in.
No problem.
So we do have so we do have a quorum. In fact, you make the full complement of for the entire meeting, and we have one guest, that's Marla Hank. And we've already started. And we are discussing minutes from last time, and we're just clarifying one point, that this Community Preservation Committee is representative by appointees from other boards and committees, and is not a select board appointed committee. And that was what Janet wanted to be sure was clear in the minutes. And so
That is true.
Okay. So Janet, I think we're all set the way it's written. Okay?
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So is there any other discussion about accepting the minutes?
Cindy, I just didn't get the minutes so far. I haven't received the minutes.
You didn't get my email? You didn't get my email from last Sunday?
I don't believe I did. But
Oh,
so I get a lot of emails, and I don't know if I inadvertently I might have passed over it. I looked
oh
for it,
dear.
but that's all right.
Okay.
I'll abstain from any. Since I can vote now, I'll abstain from it.
You can vote.
Yes, but
So you're
since I have-
abstaining. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so if there's no further discussion, all in favor of accepting the minutes, say your last name.
Yes.
Fetterman,
Groden, aye.
That was Groden.
Brown, yes.
Who else?
Yes.
Brown, yes. Palmer, yes.
Fetterman, yes.
Do I hear? Fetterman, yes. Do I hear from West?
Yes. West, yes.
Okay, and then Charlie McDonald is abstaining.
Abstaining. Yep. Please.
Is there any oppose? No oppose. Thank you. So they're accepted with one abstention. Okay, so let's move on.
I've just forwarded the email to Charlie, so.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Thank
surprised
you.
you didn't get it, Charlie, because there
Yeah,
were some attachments to.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, so let's move on to old business. The first item is the good news. At the last select board meeting, we were, not the last, I'm sorry, you've had 3 more since, long ones. The decision was made and voted in by the select board to accept the Open Space Committee as a regular town committee appointed by various representation from boards and committees, with one at-large member that was appointed by the select board. At this point, that's Diana Fetterman. So each of us who represent other boards or committees, Charlie represents the Concom, Janet represents CPC, April represents assessors, I represent planning board, Rini represents select board, and we have one open slot, and that's the Parks and Recreation. And so we are a committee of 7 with 6 boards represented and 1 at-large member. And I have proceeded to contact the chairperson of Parks, and that's Mark Reed. He responded to me. He said they're down a member, and he was not feeling at all confident that any of the other 4 people would be able to represent us. I did have a email back and forth with one of their members, that's Paula Mack, kind of urging her in this direction because she too is a realtor and, you know, knows lands pretty well. And she was not at all certain she was going to be able to volunteer for this. And I don't believe we have anybody here tonight. I made sure they knew about tonight's meeting. So the first thing is just to confirm that we are a regular appointed committee of the town of Southampton, which is really good news.
Cindy, can I say something? It's Rini.
Yes.
Hi. Yes, it's a wonderful. We should celebrate this. But the other thing I just wanted to mention is, I don't know if you were in on the email, but it just came in last night or during one of the 2 select board meetings this week. But Paula is the representative that they're sending to the Open Space and Recreation Plan Committee. And when Ed had sent out the dates for the possible meeting coming up, she had actually chimed in that she could attend on the 29th. This is a short-lived committee to, until it's done. So I'm wondering if she might be willing to do it. I don't know if it's, but she is the representative from Park to the Open Space and Recreation Plan.
That is really excellent news. I know Mark was not always able to attend that meeting, so you're absolutely right. My understanding, Rini, is that the OSRP work is scheduled.
Hello.
Hello.
I missed you.
Cindy, we lost audio.
as well as your video.
Poor Cindy.
As the host, how do we end up staying on the call and she doesn't?
I don't know.
Well,
I
she's
don't know.
still there because it says Edward Gibson, because she uses his account. It's just,
Yeah, I
she's
just
muted
texted her
in
and
her,
said we lost you.
yeah, her video and audio is off.
Yeah. But anyway, was anybody else on that email that went out to say that Paula has agreed to be the representative from Park, and she had chimed in to say that she could attend on the 29th? But I don't think we have a date yet for that meeting.
I didn't, this is Janet, I didn't, but I know in the past, Ed Colley and or Randall represented Parks, and I don't know if that's
Yeah.
something that we could think about, and if Paula can't do it for a long period of time, she's a busy person, but Randall seemed to be receptive, so
Oh, well, that's good.
we'll have to see what he thinks.
I sent a text to her saying, I lost you, and she said it's me. So I'm not sure.
Isn't this fun?
It's actually, it's kind of fun that we're actually doing this and we're learning. So we need to pat ourselves on the back. Oh, you know what? She probably needs to hit just the video down at the bottom of her computer screen to get back. She isn't really gone, but she may have lost where she is.
I'll send her a text about that.
She just texted me to say, please continue the meeting.
Yeah, okay. I'll just say one more thing, if you don't mind, about the formation of the committee. I think the only discussion during the select board had to do with whether or not they would get representation, and do we want to specifically earmark particular committees for the people to come from. And I think we decided that we really do, that having someone from assessors was critically important. Having somebody from Park was incredibly important, select board, CPC. So we answered with yes, we think it is very important that the history of the committee has been extremely important to have specific representation. So then the other issue came up of, the swelling of the committee in order to do the open space and recreation plan, and is that what we want to do, and do we specify positions at that point? And I think we landed on increasing the size of the committee, but not necessarily, like at that point we would want someone from the Agricultural Commission, we would want someone from various other committees, but I don't think we went so far as to say, and then they have to represent these committees. So that's kind of the way it went, and then it was approved, and that was it. So any people generally happy about that? I mean, that was pretty much what we had decided the last meeting.
Good. Sounds good.
Okay, good. Do you want to look at what's the next thing on the agenda then? Well, Cindy gets back on.
Yes, it's that.
Does somebody have it? I'm on a phone, so I don't know if you have it handy.
I can get it.
Okay.
It might take me a minute. Here we go. The next thing is invite public comments. Is that what we just now did? Review minutes. Have we review minutes? We
Yeah.
need.
Yep, we're all set with that.
Okay. The next is old business. Status,
I think we have the status of the OSRP update process, which, thanks to April, attached to that document that she just emailed me.
Okay. Is that from the last, is that a current update, or is that documents along with the last minutes? Is there any other update?
I think this came on, I think the draft minutes of June 25th.
Speak out.
And then next to that are the process draft documents and process.
Does anybody have a, I mean, other than the fact that we're setting up a meeting for either Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday next week, are there any updates from the open space and recreation plan?
no.
To me, if that's the question, I don't believe there is any additional updates. I haven't heard anything.
Okay. I've got Cindy on speakerphone. There might be some feedback, but she does not believe that there is any update from the open space and, committee. I mean, from the plan, whatever you asked, Rainey.
Okay, the question I had is anybody familiar? I mean, we're already behind. We're already on the timetable, and I know that we got an extension in terms of the money to pay for this whole process. But do we have a target date for when this is expected to be done?
Yes, really, I believe I've heard Ken Comia say that he expects this will be done by the end of August.
Done by the
I
end
didn't catch the
of
date.
August.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, according to Ken Comia. So, Cindy,
Oh, okay.
Cindy, Diana has been made host now, so you can call in. You want to do that?
What? What?
I've lost
What do you want me to do?
Okay. You're host now.
I am?
Yeah,
So what does that mean?
that means that you get to move people around.
I don't know how to do that. I've never done that.
All right.
I don't think it's not necessary. Let's keep going because
Yeah.
she has to leave at 7.
Keep going because you got to leave. So, all right.
All right, so there's really no other update on open space and recreation plan except that there is supposed to be a meeting scheduled for this coming week. I haven't yet seen the confirmation of that. And the other thing is that we expect it to be completed by the end of August, according to the PVPC consultant.
And also that there is a representative from Park that's able to come. The only day she can do next week is Wednesday. I'm not sure what other people's availability was, but that was the message from Ed.
Oh, okay, all right.
Did you get anyone from the water department?
I don't think we've not usually had that.
Well, yes, but I don't think he went to, I don't count that one. Hopefully he'll be up to 10.
I'm sorry, I can't hear anyone.
So Cindy hasn't heard it from anyone able to attend from the water department.
We don't usually have people from the water department. We have them from parks, which is usually the same person. But we not normally have people from water.
Only because the water department holds an amount of open space, including the most recent open space.
So it would be good to have Randall then.
Because Brittany had sent me a list from Pioneer Valley Planning Commission questioning the conservation properties, and I did what I could to try to update that. But I noted to her, you know, I don't speak for the park department and I don't speak for the water department. And certainly the most recent community preservation funded open space is that water department property on Pomeroy Meadow Road.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we do need some water.
And they have other open properties scattered around town as well. So it's, you know, that's one of the things. It's not just the Concom. It's, well, and they have the open space on Cook Road, on Cook and County Road, right? That's also since the last open space and recreation plan. across the street from the wildlife place. So there are a number of significant newer acquisitions held by the water department.
So Marla, and everybody, Jim Williams from the Water Commissioners attended at least one meeting. It was a while ago. So I'm hoping that Ed can call him back in on it with a little luck. So that's where we're hopeful that we will get the representation for open space and recreation plan for this update. Oh.
Did everybody hear that?
No.
Okay, so Cindy says that she's hoping that we can call Jim Ballounis, who has attended one meeting, back in to represent the whatever. I'm sorry, I'm having, the water department, having
Water
trouble.
commissioners.
Water commissioners.
I think Ed lets him know every time.
Okay. So Jim is notified of meetings by Ed.
Again, the open space and recreation plan is supposed to be finished by, I think a discussion of that point was made, but what was that date that was anticipated?
Hopefully the end of August.
Hopefully the end of August.
End of August, thank you.
Yep.
Okay? Who's leading the meeting? Are we-
Rini, are you still with us?
Hang on. Yes, I went on mute. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I don't have an agenda, so I'm lost. I'm just going to try to translate.
The next thing is
What's next?
update on Friends of Open Space. Can you repeat?
I have the agenda in front of me and it says status, the next thing is status of the FOSOS.
Okay, the Friends of the Open Space. So what's up, Cindy?
So they have been actively involved in meetings, and they have moving towards their 501c3 status. They're finalizing their bylaws. They have the draft mission statement. They have made further progress on developing a website, and so it's just they're progressing further than they were when we last reported. They're actively involved in moving forward.
Okay, so
That's fantastic.
yeah, that is good. Did you guys all hear that?
No.
Okay, so the Friends of the Open Space have been actively meeting. They're working on getting the 501c3 up and running. They have a draft mission statement and they're making progress on their website. So and bylaws.
So it's all good news.
So they're actively working and actually making progress.
Great.
That's great. Can I ask you a question? Charlie, you want to go?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Is there a plan to transfer the Kestrel money into that account?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Additional money that's earmarked for Southampton, but they have to finalize that 501c3 status, and they have to have, the official bank account. I think Doric Alderman, sorry, not Alderman. What's Doric's last name?
Does.
Doric agreed to let his home address be address because they couldn't use a post box. So yes, the answer is yes, Rini.
Into what account? Into the FSOS, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
once it gets finalized for the 501c3 and they have an account set up, then the funds will be transferred from Kestrel.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Is that a question? When? I couldn't say when. Hopefully soon. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So the next is I want to report on making contact with the Holyoke Water Works, the city of Holyoke, regarding the land, which is Assessor's Map number 9, parcels 1 and 2. Can you repeat that, April?
Okay, so Cindy wants to make a report and an update on the Holyoke Waterworks, Assessor Map 9, parcels 1 and 2?
Yes, that's privately owned right now and on the market. You remember that from before.
Yep.
They want a minimum of $1 million. How much was it? 230-something acres, apparently? Or,
Yeah, 238 acres. It's privately owned and currently on the market for $1 million.
So I have had an absolute positive and continuous contact with their superintendent. His name is Matt Smith. And we have been emailing back and forth, and he wanted to be certain he knew exactly what parcel. And once he recognized that these are all represent feeder streams and definitely within the watershed, he's very enthusiastic about bringing it to their commissioners' meeting.
Okay, great. So, yeah, Cindy has had a very positive and a continuing conversation. Is it Matt or Nate?
Yes.
Matt Smith of the Holyoke Waterworks, who is, once he's done his research, is very interested and enthusiastic and will be bringing that to the Holyoke Waterworks Commission.
And I don't know when. It could be at their next meeting or the meeting after. I volunteered to go to the meeting, and hopefully I'd like to meet him out there on Fulmer Road. We can't walk the property without the permission of somebody, and maybe we even could connect with a realtor, but it's a process that's moving along in a positive direction, I think.
That's great news. So Cindy hopes to maybe walk the property with Matt Smith with permission from the seller, possibly through the realtor.
But it's just moving along. So that's my report on that.
Moving along, okay.
So the next one is the property that's on Assessor's Map 12, Lot 10. It's the one that abuts Durrell's Path.
It abuts who, what?
Durrell's Path.
Okay, so the next on the agenda is the property located on map 12, lot 10, which abuts Durrell's Path.
And it's owned by a gentleman. We thought he was going to come back to his home sometime this summer. But he is still in New Hampshire with his son. I had a conversation with the son 4 days ago. His son, who was very nice, said, well, we're not really sure what we're doing. We need to find out the value of the property. So I'm afraid we're sort of in a stall mode there. And until he comes back to town, and I did volunteer to meet with the son and the man, and even their brother-in-law who lives over on Strong Road. And I asked Diane and Mala maybe to meet with me on them. So we don't have any real progress on that piece of property.
So you had a good conversation, right?
Well, yeah, but it wasn't as helpful as the one I had when I actually spoke directly to the gentleman.
Okay.
But it sounds like the son is playing it a little more cautiously.
Yeah, okay.
Can you repeat that?
Yep. So regarding the Durrell Path abutting property, the owner of the property is still in New Hampshire living with his son. So Cindy had a conversation with the son, who would like to do some of their own research on the value of the property. And so at this point, that has not made any positive forward motion.
Correct. Okay, so that's all the old business that I have. I want to know, did everybody have a chance to look at the draft, the process for proceeding with land conservation? It was attached with the minutes. and it had another attachment to it with all the other sort of backup stuff. Thank you to the people who sent me their ideas on what to put into that. So there's 2 parts, April. Do they see it? And say thank you for the people that contributed their ideas.
Okay. So does anyone have any other old business before we move into new business? All right, so Cindy, the first thing on the new business is, has everyone had a chance to look through the draft on the process of proceeding with land conservation and the other attachment that was in that email? And Cindy wants to thank everyone who took the time to get their ideas to her.
This is Rini. I have not had a chance to read that.
Nor have I, Cindy, I'm sorry.
Okay, don't apologize. I think this meeting is like the most, kind of confusing, of course, meeting that I've seen. Let's hold on that. And can I propose that we might meet in August, but we would meet maybe at Conant Park at the picnic tables with social distancing, wearing masks, so we're not trying to do this Zoom stuff. And I'm just going to throw that out, and then we can really talk about this being a little more reasonably. Can you repeat that?
Sure. So Cindy is proposing that we put a hold on this so everyone has a chance to really review it. And then she thinks that if we meet at Conant Park in August, outside with social distancing and masks, that might be a better way to have the next meeting rather than with Zoom.
I have a question for you, maybe for Rini. Would they have the bathroom facilities open? Because it's not only you, the members, who have to be there, open to the public. It has to be Americans with Disability Act accessible. It has to be all of that for everybody, not just you.
Parks Commission met there. I don't know. I can check to see on the bathroom. I will see if Randall can, or the police department would let us have the key, and I can check into that.
Cindy can check into that. She believes the Park Commission has had a meeting there.
Okay, but
yeah.
with hopefully they have made arrangements for cleaning it between use.
Well, I will look into that very closely, and if necessary, bring my own antiseptic cleaner. I've got Lysol wipes, and I've cleaned a lot of bathrooms in my life. I will address that issue if people are in agreement otherwise to doing that, so we're not having this kind of crazy meeting where we're not really connected.
Well, I think it's a good idea, but I might suggest that we bring our own chairs.
Own chairs? Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Own chairs.
Okay. How do people feel if we can get the bathroom cleaning and being open and complying with the whatever we need to comply with regulations? Is everybody up for an in-person social distancing outside meeting? I am.
I am.
West is yes.
Janet, I am.
I am.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
McDonald is. Yeah.
Well, then, with that in mind, I don't have any other pressing business for tonight. Who else has? I mean, we have to elect officers, but I'd like to put that off until the next meeting also.
Okay, so Cindy says we need to elect officers, but she proposes that we put that off to the next meeting. So does anyone else have any pressing business that we need to attend to tonight?
Is there a date for the August get together or not?
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
All right.
So shall we move to setting a date then?
Shall we set a date for the next meeting in August?
Can I propose August 13th? It's a Thursday.
Cindy is proposing August 13th, which is a Thursday.
It's also 2 days before the town meeting.
Rainey, are you okay with it or not?
I am okay with it. I don't know if we're going to end up having an extra meeting. Right now, our meetings are on the 28th and the 4th, and there's nothing scheduled. I imagine if it would be on the 11th anyway, so I think it's okay.
Looks good to me. So,
How about Charlie and everybody else?
Charlie, Diana,
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Is it
Fine.
the Zoom, or we're gonna try to do the park thing?
the park.
Okay.
And I would remind you that since there's a lot of wetlands around there and you're going in the evening, take your bug spray.
And boots. What time?
Let's do, is 6 o'clock okay? And Rainey, I know you have to, get home from work. 6 o'clock for people, all right?
Does 6 o'clock
Yeah.
work? People, Rini as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I think 6 o'clock is better. It's harder if it's 5 or 5:30, but 6 is okay if it's okay with everybody else.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a BYOC and bug spray. BYOC.
And DS.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so good. And maybe Paula can make that meeting. I will attempt to see if she might be able to make that meeting that night. And we'll have the full representation.
Okay.
Do we have to
That would be
check?
great.
Do we have to check with the park people, see if someone else already has the space?
We will.
Okay.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes. One more thing.
We are all representing a board or committee except Diana's a member at large. Therefore, at the next meeting, please plan to give a report from your board or committee, because we are stating that part of our charge is to communicate with our boards and committees and back and forth.
Okay, so we are all asked, those of us representing other boards or committees, to bring a short report about what's going on within our respective boards for this meeting.
And be sure to report back to our boards and committees.
Yes, and vice versa. We should be reporting back to our boards about these meetings.
I'm having a difficult time hearing. Could an email be sent to us about that request?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cindy, you'll send out a confirmation email about the next meeting and what you're asking us to do, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes,
Sorry. Thank you.
sure.
All right. So if there's no other business, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I make a motion that we adjourn. Thank you guys for being patient during technology stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll second that. Thank you, April,
Bye.
for information.
Okay, Groden, aye. We have to vote on it, right? Groden, aye?
Aye. Oh, yeah, we're adjourning. Aye. I think everyone was just saying aye. All right.
Okay, all right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Stay safe.